I am probably going to offend somebody by saying what I'm about to say. But like I said in the process video that you may or may not have seen by the time you see this one, Pentium 4 systems in this day and age are pretty much worthless. If you pay any money for them, you've paid too much money. The simple fact of the matter is, nothing is optimized for the netburst architecture anymore, and you can get so much better for your money than just buying a lowly Pentium 4. Well, the same applies to the AMD systems, which is what this is. So, that sticker price is probably way too much money. I mean, look at this. This is broken. You could see down there it was an HP Pavilion A320n. I've seen one of these cases. I don't know if it was the same model, but I know that I saw one of these cases at work several years ago, and the system was completely trashed. The board had all bad capacitors, and I stripped it for pretty much everything. But I also had one of these that a former boss of mine had me get the data off of the drive for that. Could have come home with that system too. You could see here. Look at that. I actually have the drives that would have gone there. I've already been in this system, so I know what I'm getting myself into. Because it's got thumb screws on the back, it was very easy to do that. So I've got the floppy drive and the card reader, which I believe is proprietary on this system. The cabling is still present, so that's good. I even have the screws for those. The screws were, of course, lying loose in the case. No hard drive. If the spec sheet online is to be believed, this system has an Athlon XP 2800 plus CPU, which would actually be useful. I've got an HP Pavilion 541C in the closet that's only got a 2000 plus. I could probably put this CPU in there and have a nice little upgrade for that system. But, I didn't really buy this. I didn't really buy this for the system unit itself. I bought this for the case, because I've got some micro ATX hardware that I could put into this case and reuse this case, a Core 2 Duo system that I'm going to use actually to replace my Pentium 4 stream encoding rig. Yeah, there's one of the screws. You'd have a look at the back. It's a Delta power supply, believe it or not. It's not Best Tech or anything like that, even though it's got the light on the back that the Best Techs usually had. Pretty standard I/O. Nothing really fancy there. Somebody added in a card here. It's nothing fancy. It doesn't even have a fan on it. I always found it funny how it says A000 on the back. Yeah. Anyway, there's a modem in the bottom there as well. I added these two screws here. Some clever clog, took one of these thumb screws out of this and put it over here and called that one acceptable. Don't know why they did that. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to even just pull this off on camera, because it's pretty easy to do so. We'll have a look in here at the disaster within. It doesn't look too bad, really, but you can see the hard drive bay. Single drive bay, which kind of sucks, but oh well. Doesn't really matter too much. Pretty standard board. I can't tell if this is an Asus board or what this is. Those connectors over there say Foxconn on the top of them, but that doesn't really mean much. Unfortunately, it's got one of these crappy NVIDIA Enforce chipsets. These things are total junk. And I can't believe that NVIDIA would put their name on something that's just so incredibly unreliable, but they did. And so this one's got one of those. Pretty standard setup, though. Looks like 3 PCI and an AGP. I could probably use that AGP card for something, as long as those crappy capacitors aren't blown, which it looks like they are, so that's probably total junk. Of course, it's got onboard video. No RAM. I wonder if there's even a CPU installed underneath that cooler. I guess I'll find out. I've got both the drives up there. Floppy drive, of course, is disconnected, and they left me this little cable here. But I gotta find out if this thing even powers on. There's no P4 power connector, which is fine. They unplugged this from the board for some reason. I don't really know why they would do that. They also unplugged the CPU fan from the board for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they were doing some diagnosis. Maybe there is actually something wrong with this. And in which case, well, it's going to come out anyway. I don't really care. I've got other uses for this case that'll be much better than a socket 462 Athlon XP, so. Well, let me hook up all this cabling that's been disconnected, and I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a shot and see if it works. Okay, I got it all hooked up. How much do you want to bet that's going to blow up in my face when I plug it in? Well, let's find out. That sounds nice. Yep, doesn't look like it does anything. Oh, well, probably help if I didn't do that. But, let me take out this video card. Okay, took out the video card. At least I know the power switch works. Still not doing anything, though. I think he's dead, man. Well, let me clean the RAM slot out. I'll dig through my collection of RAM, see if I can find something else. But I don't think this is going to do anything. Well, it did get upset at me when I removed the RAM and turned it on. Let's see what it does like this. I don't think this is a legal configuration, though. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to do anything else. I suspect this RAM is not good enough for it. We'll see what happens. I'll show you what happens when I pull it completely out. So the board isn't totally dead. But I don't think it's really working either. Also, definitely an Asus motherboard, A7N8X-LA. You can go look up the specs on that if you want. Let me try some more RAM. I was looking at this chip, and it looks like this is DDR400. So there's a possibility that's a little too fast for this thing, because I know it's got a 333 megahertz front-side bus. So I found some DDR333. We'll see if it works. I highly doubt it. Yep. It's dead, man. So, yeah, that's junk. Have to wonder what happened to it. I'll try it in the other slot, but, I don't think that that is going to work. And I think that's junk. Because I don't think this is bad memory. So there's probably a capacitor or two that's gone out of spec. And I'm not going to waste time recapping this. I'm probably going to see if I can get that out of there without too much swearing. See if I can get the battery out. Pull the battery. Just to clear the CMOS a little bit. I did at least get these LEDs, but the system does nothing. Maybe I'll try popping that heatsink, make sure there's actually a CPU under it. Yep, it's junk. Tried another RAM stick. That didn't really work. I even tried changing this power supply. So I got this featherweight piece of crap here to test it. That fan is slowing down. That's interesting. It didn't do that before. So I wonder if I'm just not getting video output. Or it's doing something weird, I don't know. But, yeah, it's not really working all that well. No video. Junk. It's not burning or anything like that. At least not yet. So I'll pull this board out and put it in my junk pile. Probably put the new I/O shield in it at least. And we should be good to go. Okay, I got the board out of the case and I got the CPU heatsink free from the board. Very annoying heatsink setup. But, yeah, there it is. AMD Athlon. Let's try and get some focus on that, please. I wonder if it would focus that close. I see 2800, so I'm pretty sure that I'm right in calling this the original 2800 plus CPU. Don't know if it works. Probably can put that in another system and find out. But not really going to do much good in this one. The front panel actually has me fairly confused. I'm not really sure how this is supposed to be hooked up. I guess I'm going to have to look into that, find out, and get all that dealt with. But for now, it's good night to the HP Pavilion A320n. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP 666 signing off, and I hope to see you next time. Till then.